There's something in the water here in Michigan at the law school because people help each other. Students help each other. It's always been that way. It was that way when I was here in the 80s, and people tell me it was that way in the 70s.
It just feels wonderful for the current students to know that the alumni who've walked the halls before them still care about the school and still care about their own life opportunities.
I look back at that summer of 1954 as basically the catalyst and the springboard for all of the public service that followed.
One of the things that I love about Michigan alumni is that there is this familial connection between us all, whether we went to school in the same class or not. The work of alumni and students who are going into public interest work in government is critical to the underpinnings of who we are as a society. Think how government would function if it didn't have sharp-minded, ethical, responsible, smart lawyers working at it.
In part because the law school is part of a public university, we have always had a great commitment to public service. We care about giving our students opportunities to do pro bono work while they're here. We care about giving our students opportunities to do clinical work and learn under the watchful eye of faculty how to be public interest lawyers. And we care about giving them opportunities for summer jobs.
The SFF grants over the years, over the 30 years that SFF has been around, which is the oldest of these among any of the law schools, the SFF grants have been critical to support those students who are going into public interest work in government. Most of those summer internships are not paid. So the SFF grants that the students get are the absolute necessity for them to go ahead and pursue that sort of public interest work or government work that they want. Without SFF, we wouldn't have a lot of students going to do this kind of work.
I worked in Brooklyn, New York, and I worked for Brooklyn Legal Services, which is an organization that provides legal services to low-income populations that need representation in housing court cases. There's no way that I could have done the work that I did this summer without SFF.
AFF's mission is to ensure that every Michigan law student who wishes to spend a summer or two working in the public interest has the opportunity to do so. AFF began when 5 classmates and I approached Dean Kamaker last year with the idea that alumni could come together to assist in filling the current fellowship funding gap. After those initial conversations with Dean Kamaker, AFF has really evolved into a thriving initiative, and it truly demonstrates that collegiality at Michigan Law extends beyond the boundaries of the law quad and really into the entire Michigan law community.
My name is Ashley Thompson. I'm from Traverse City, Michigan, and following my 1L year, I spent the summer here at the University of Michigan in the Child Advocacy Law Clinic, and I was able to do that because of my SFF grant. Prior to law school, I was a Peace Corps volunteer, so I made absolutely no money. And obviously I spent a lot of money as a 1L, so I would not have been able to participate in any kind of public interest activity over the summer without SFF.
Well, admissions gets the ball rolling by admitting these great students with their commitments to careers in public interest. But they need help along the way. You just can't afford to go into these careers when you're taking on mountains of educational debt. So in those first key summer jobs, SFF and AFF and that support is crucial to getting people on the way.
But once you have done a public interest job, if it's for you, it's not for everybody, if it's for you, once you've tasted it for 10, 12, 14 weeks, it's hard to shake what's really special and rewarding about it. And so even if you do go work for a firm for a number of years, it may be the kind of thing that stays with you and encourages you to come back to it at some later stage in your life.
But I look back at that summer of 1954 as basically the catalyst and the springboard for all of the public service that followed. And that's why I think it's so valuable and so important for students in law school to have the opportunity to do public service, public interest work while they're still in law school, because it gives them an insight into the gratifications that can come from that kind of work later on.
Last summer with my SFF grant, I was able to work for a nonprofit in New York City called the Community Service Society. This organization serves the population of people coming out of the prison system in New York. And what we do is try to facilitate their getting a job and having a stable life when they exit the prison system so they don't end up back there. My experience this summer using the SFF grant to work at a nonprofit organization absolutely reaffirmed and sealed my decision to work in a public interest job.
Well, my 1L summer really shaped the rest of my law school career. It made me realize I wanted to be a public defender. It's why I took criminal procedure. It's why I worked at a public defender's office my second summer, and now I'm going to be a public defender after I graduate.
Our board really hopes that AFF will continue to grow and that in due time it can fully realize its mission of supporting public interest funding at Michigan.
I think that the funding that's provided to students who do this kind of work over the summer obviously provides a necessary service to a community, that a needy community. But it also, I think, improves our law school. The student body is more informed, and these are contributions that we can share, not only in class, but with our peers. And it's definitely something that I feel that I've come back and I've been able to contribute in class because of these experiences. So, thank you.
This program that is going forward to raise money to allow Michigan second-year students to do the kind of public interest, public service work that I did in that second year is such a wonderful program, and I'm very happy to be part of it and support it.
To the alumni who are interested in supporting this program, I really just want to say thank you very much on behalf of all the students and the faculty here at the law school. I think, as you know, we're a public school, but basically privately funded in a sense. We no longer get any money from the state, and so our budget basically is composed of tuition dollars and private giving. And under those circumstances, it's wonderful to have the support of alumni to help us be able to provide these kinds of special opportunities for our students.
I'm so thankful that the AFF and the SFF exists. It's a wonderful opportunity for so many students at this school. And there are so many of us who are interested in public interest work, and this is just an amazing opportunity that they've given us to be able to participate in that.
This law school has a unique place in American legal education as an excellent public school that has long had a commitment to public service and public interest. Alumni financial support for the people who want to carry that onward is key. We can't do it without them.
The obstacles for students nowadays are different from the way they were before. And so it's so nice to see SFF continue its legacy and keep on pushing to support this and make the opportunities available for students. And so for folks, our students who've contributed to SFF and alumni who contributed to SFF, both in terms of gifts or in gifts for the auction or actual donations, monetary donations, I'd give you a big hug. If you step into my office in Hutchins Hall, you're going to get either chocolate or a big hug from me. Thank you very much.
Sing to the colors that float in the light, hurrah for the yellow and blue. Yellow the stars as they ride through the night and reel in a rollicking crew. Yellow the fields where ripens the grain, and yellow the moon on the harvest wain. Hail, hail to the colors that float in the light, hurrah for the yellow